Back, everybody. Another episode. My name is Zach Pasquarello, and in this video, I'm going to talk about my daily routine as a six-figure bookkeeping business owner. I started my bookkeeping business 5 years ago, and now I've got 70 bookkeeping clients. And I'm going to talk about how I've basically perfected my daily routine, I guess, to be as efficient as possible. And I work from home. I work out of my home office. I run my bookkeeping business. It's totally virtual, totally remote. And I have a couple notes. I'm going to be going live for 30 minutes. So if you're watching this video live right now, feel free to ask questions in the chat. Once I get through with my notes, I'm going to go over all the questions in the chat. And if you're not watching this live, I go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on my YouTube channel at 10 a.m. If you're listening to this on my podcast on Apple or Spotify, I appreciate you listening. And if you want to check out the YouTube video, go to my YouTube channel. I've got the same name on my podcast as I do on my YouTube channel. So let's go through my notes. Let's talk about my daily routine as a six-figure bookkeeping business owner. Caveat, my very first year of bookkeeping, I did not make six figures. I made $65-ish thousand my first year, but then every year after that, I have made six figures and more. So this is my daily routine now. This probably wasn't necessarily my daily routine when I was just getting started, but this is what I do now. So hopefully you all can learn something from this. And if you have any questions, let me know in the chat and I will be happy to answer everybody's questions. Notes, let's talk about a few things first. Take care of the little things quickly so they don't build up and stress you out. Especially as a bookkeeper, we have little tasks that need to be done every day, every week, every month. For example, filing sales tax. I file sales tax for 3 of my bookkeeping clients. I don't love doing it, but I have to do it every month. And I set an automatic email, a scheduled monthly recurring email to myself to file sales tax for my clients. Every time that email pops up, I immediately get stressed out because I hate filing sales tax. I have to log into QuickBooks. I have to go to the sales tax. I have to do some calculations. I have to log into the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue website and I have to file sales tax. It's such a pain in the butt. And every time I get that email, I just instantly dread having to do it. But if I don't take care of it, I'm going to be stressed out all day or all week about doing it. So I take care of it, or I try to at least. I try to take care of it right away. Another example, I got a letter in the mail this morning from the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue, and it was a payroll tax notification for my Harrisburg bookkeeping. And I didn't want to open it. I didn't want to see what it was. Hopefully it wasn't some penalty or some notice or something. So instead of letting it sit on my desk and me thinking about it all day, I just opened it right away. And sure enough, it was just a payroll tax notification saying that my filing frequency changed. Little things like this as a business owner, as a bookkeeper, happen all the time. So what I needed to do, I needed to scan it, upload it to ADP so that they could update their records, update their filing frequency for my payroll. And I could have postponed that because you have to take out your phone, you have to scan the document, you have to log into ADP, upload the document. That all takes time. But it's such a little task. And I get little tasks like that all day. So if I don't take care of those little tasks immediately, they just pile up and they stress me out. So one of the biggest pieces of advice I have for you to reduce your stress and to improve your efficiency is to try to take care of little tasks immediately. As soon as they pop up, take care of them. That way they don't build up and stress you out. Benefits of working from home, very efficient. I'm in my home office right now. I wake up and make a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, boom, I'm right in my home office. I'm working. Lunchtime, go eat lunch, come right back to my home office. Want to see my kids? Go out, say hi to my kids, right back into my home office. Very efficient. But if you have a small house like I did, when I first got started, I didn't have enough space to have my own home office. It would really stress me out trying to work in my bedroom or the living room or the kitchen, especially if you have kids. So if you have a small house or small apartment, or you have a ton of kids and you don't have enough space to have your own private home office, then maybe consider finding a remote working space. Maybe try to find what I call an executive suite. So I rented a little 20-foot by 10-foot executive suite whenever I used to live in my old house in year 2 of my bookkeeping business. So there's a 4-year time period here. So the very first year I worked out of my basement, I saved money, I worked from home. The second year, the second and third year, I got an executive suite. It was $600 per month. It was a 200 square foot office, and I liked it a lot. It was less than 5 minutes away from my home. So very short commute, very fast commute, but it was very nice to have my own space because I lived in a small house and we had kids, and it just wasn't possible for me to work from home. It would stress me out too much. So if that's you, then potentially maybe try to find a small office that you could rent for maybe $500 or $600. Year 4, we moved to a bigger house, and now I have my own home office. So now I'm saving $600 per month. I'm saving the time of driving, but I still miss that. I do still miss having my own space to work, especially with kids, especially with laundry and dishes and cleaning the house and the kitchen. There's a lot of distractions at home, the dog. There's a lot of distractions at home. So I do miss having that office, but I really enjoy 2 things. 1, saving money, saving the $600 per month of working from home. But 2, the time. I don't have to pack my lunch. I don't have to drive. I don't have to commute. I can work very efficiently. So I try to protect my time. So I don't go in office. Yeah, I'm about to go through my whole daily routine. I don't go in office for my clients. I don't go to networking events. I don't do in-person meetings. My schedule looks very different for the first 15 days of every month than it does for the last 15 days because I'm a bookkeeper. So I'm closing out all of my clients' books in the first 10 or 15 days. So the first 15 days are super stressful, super packed, just hardcore bookkeeping all day, every day, trying to categorize all the transactions from the month before, reconcile everybody's accounts, answer client questions, and send them their financial reports. I'm in growth mode right now. So I'm still in the first 5 years of my business. So I'm in growth mode. I'm making a lot of sacrifices. I'm working really, really hard. That's why I said I don't go to networking events. I don't go to in-person meetings because I am just 100% focused on growing my business. So right now I'm managing Harrisburg Bookkeeping. I'm managing my 70 bookkeeping clients. I'm not trying to grow Harrisburg Bookkeeping. I'm trying to grow my investment fund. So I have Zip Capital where I do real estate private money lending and I use other people's money. I have about $1 million of my own money. And you can see there I have $1.9 million of other people's money invested into Zip Capital. And I offer 8% up to 12% fixed returns to accredited investors who invest into Zip Capital. I have 17 investors right now. So my goal, my number one goal, my only goal right now is to grow Zip Capital. I want to maintain Harrisburg Bookkeeping and I want to grow Zip Capital. So everything I do right now is focused on growing Zip Capital. So very similar to you. Think about Harrisburg Bookkeeping like my day job and Zip Capital like my bookkeeping business. For you, think about you probably have a day job right now and then you're trying to grow your bookkeeping business. So you are also in growth mode. So you have to make sacrifices. You have to work hard. You're in growth mode. This might not be sustainable. But that's okay. Here's my plan. I want to do so much. That's why I'm committed to going live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I want to do so much that it's unsustainable right now. And then I want to figure out how to make it sustainable. I want to slowly increase my workload. I was not working this hard 5 years ago. It's kind of like going to the gym. When you go to the gym, you start with a very basic workout plan, but then you have to get stronger, you have to add more reps, more weight, more sets, more frequency, more times per week, longer sessions at the gym. Same thing with growing your business. If you want to accomplish your first goal, maybe your first goal is to get 5 clients. You're going to have to work a lot harder to accomplish your next goal of getting to 20 clients and then 50 clients. And now for me, my goal is to raise $5 million in Zip Capital and manage 70 bookkeeping clients. So my goals are continuing to increase and increase and increase. My workload is slowly increasing. It's not, I don't know if it's sustainable. I think it's sustainable, but I want to do so much that it feels unsustainable now. But as I get better and more efficient and work harder, I'm going to figure out how to make this current workload sustainable. And then hopefully in 6 months, add more to my plate, work harder. So now I'm going to get into my daily routine. And before I get too far into this, let me just say, this is how I want to live my life. So I'm just sharing what I do. I'm not saying that you need to do exactly what I'm doing. Everybody's different. Some people have a ton of kids. Some people might be the sole breadwinner of the family. Some people might be the primary caretaker in the family. Somebody might be fresh out of college, no kids. Somebody might be retired with empty nester and all of your kids are now in college. So this is just what I do. So if you don't like the way I'm living my life, the good news is you don't have to live your life the way I'm living my life. But hopefully everybody can at least take one or two ideas or points or strategies or tips from the way I operate and my schedule and my daily routine. So let's go through this. Starting at 5 a.m. I'm going to go through all my notes. If you're watching live, let's see, is anybody live? We've got 40 people watching live right now. That's awesome. So for everybody who is live, ask questions. Ask questions, and I will get to your questions. I do see one super chat, and so let me just say, let's see. I do want to answer your question right now, and then let me get to the notes. Let's see. Peace for all. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I purchased your marketing course and it is wonderful. Where are you posting your daily updates? Peace for all. What do you mean my daily updates? So I post every morning at 8 a.m. Every morning at 8 a.m. I post on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I post the same post. I post a picture and then I post, what do I post? Like words. Check out my Facebook. Go follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. All of my social media channels are linked below. So peace for all. I think if you scroll through my Facebook, that might help answer your questions. But if you want to kind of maybe elaborate on what exactly you mean, I'm not exactly sure what you mean when you say, where are you posting your daily updates? What do you mean by daily updates? Because I post on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube every morning at 8 a.m. So maybe go check out my Facebook and you can kind of see how and when I post. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Okay, let's get to my daily routine. So 5 a.m. wake up. I'll be honest, I snooze 1 to 2 times. Not proud of it, trying to work on it. But yes, I do snooze 1 or 2 times. Usually get out of bed after the second snooze, make my coffee. I work from home. So come downstairs and make my coffee and I get right to work. Wake up at 5 a.m. I'm usually working right around 5:30 after the snooze and the coffee in the bathroom. I'm usually ready to go at 5:30. So what I do first thing in the morning, I don't do anything, like I don't do any morning routines. I don't do like a cold plunge. I don't do any journaling. I don't do any reading. I don't do any exercise. Not saying it's great, but that's just how I operate. Immediately, I check and prioritize emails. So overnight, I usually get 10 to 20 emails. A lot of them are junk. So I usually try to delete all the junk emails that are irrelevant, and then I prioritize my emails. So I don't usually take action on my emails right away, but I'll look through the important emails and I'll figure out kind of what I need to do that morning based on my emails that I got from the day before. And then I immediately go to LinkedIn and I do my LinkedIn sales. So I do a couple things on LinkedIn. So I'm trying to grow Zip Capital. So I look at who accepted my connection request yesterday. And then I add them to a list in LinkedIn. I add them to a list of recently accepted connection requests. And then I go to the 30 days before. So as an example, this morning, October 23rd, I will add everybody who accepted my connection request on October 22nd. I will add them to a list, and I use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to do this. And then I look at September 23rd. So I go back 30 days before and I see who all accepted my connection request there. And then I remove them from the list. And then I go to LinkedIn Sales Navigator and I have all the filters and the searches set up so that I can send messages to everybody who's not on that list. And so because I just added everybody from the day before to that list, they're not going to show up. And I just removed everybody from 30 days before. I removed them from that list. So now they're going to show up in LinkedIn Sales Navigator because I'm filtering out people who are not on the list. So I want to send a message to people who are not on the list. So every day I add people to the list and I take them off the list. And then I send them a message. I send them a very simple sales pitch, sales DM, and it actually worked yesterday. I got one person yesterday to say, "Hey, I am actually interested. Let's set up a phone call." And so we spoke for 30 minutes and he liked what I had to say. And he said, "Let me talk to my wife. I'm familiar with real estate. Let me talk to my wife and let me get back to you on Friday." So it is actually working. So I send messages every day on LinkedIn to potential clients. And it's one of the first things I do. And then I send 30 connection requests every single morning on LinkedIn. This is all before 6 a.m. I do that every morning. I used to do it with Facebook to try to get bookkeeping clients, but now I'm trying to get Zip Capital investors. So I do that on LinkedIn. And then shortly after that, I work on my weekly bookkeeping clients. I usually get about 3 to 6 of my weekly bookkeeping clients done. So for all of my bookkeeping clients, I service all of them one time per week. And so everybody gets assigned a particular day of the week. So today's Thursday. So I worked on all of my Thursday bookkeeping clients this morning. I got done about 6 this morning. And then 6:30 a.m. So we're about an hour into work at this point. So I've checked my emails, I've done my LinkedIn sales, and I've done about 6 clients. I've done their bookkeeping. So now we're about 6:30. Now I make my daily social media post. So every morning at 8 a.m., I post on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you haven't already, join my Facebook group. It's linked down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, join my Facebook group. It's free to join. There's 20,000 people in there. I post every single day to that Facebook group. And so the cool thing is you can literally take my Facebook posts and tailor them and customize them to your own bookkeeping business. You can literally just use my content to help you market your bookkeeping business. So obviously you don't want to copy my pictures and word for word what I'm posting, but take what I post, use ChatGPT, put your own spin on it, customize it, tailor it to your business, and then you can just create your own marketing content based on what I'm posting. So join my Facebook group. It's free to join. It's linked down below. So every morning at 6:30 a.m., usually after I've had my first cup of coffee, I will make my daily social media post. And then from about 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., I'm doing more emails and more bookkeeping. Usually at this point, I try to get at least half, if not 2/3 of my daily bookkeeping clients done before 8 a.m. So at this point, most of my emails are checked. Most of my bookkeeping is done. My 8 a.m. social media post is done. I've already worked for 2.5 hours by 8 a.m. And now from 8 a.m. to 8:40, I eat breakfast and I hang out with my family and I take my son to the bus stop. So my son's bus comes at 8:40 every morning. So from 8 a.m. to 8:40, family time, breakfast. And then right after that, I'm right back in the office. 8:40 to about 9:30, give me about an hour. I'm finishing my bookkeeping. I'm managing Zip Capital. So I'm processing loans every single month, every single week. So I lend money to real estate investors. So luckily I can do all of this from the comfort of my own home. So I don't need to travel to these properties. I underwrite them. I review them in my office. I manage Zip Capital. I manage all of my investors, all of my borrowers straight from my home office, which is pretty cool. And I do all of that. So I do my I finish my bookkeeping, manage Zip Capital, and I check my emails, respond to emails as they come up from about 8:40 to about 9:40. And then from about 9:30, 9:40 to 11, I'm doing this. I make a short 3-minute video. So I post a short 3-minute video every single morning on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And it's just promoting Zip Capital. And then I prepare for my daily live video just like this. And then I go live on YouTube from 10 to 10:30 every morning. And then from about 10:30 to 11, I download the live video, I repurpose it, I post it on my YouTube channel to publish the next day as a regular video. And then I also repurpose the audio to publish on my podcast. So a lot of what I do, now that I'm going through my daily routine, a lot of what I do is sales and marketing, which I guess that's probably how I've grown my bookkeeping business and Zip Capital so quickly and so much. I do spend a lot of time sales and marketing, but I also spend a lot of time actually doing the bookkeeping. And then 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., I catch up on emails from the morning, whatever happens. Usually I get a lot of emails from like 9:30 to 11 while I'm doing a lot of my sales and marketing. So from 11 to 12, I'll catch up on emails from the morning. I'll try to finish whatever bookkeeping I didn't get done, and then I'll do some more social media marketing. So I'll log into all my social media channels. I'll check the comments. I'll try to reply to some comments, and I'll finish up social media marketing up until 12 p.m. And then so at this point, I have worked from 5:30 to 12 what is that? 6.5 hours with taking about a half hour to a 45-minute break. So at this point, at 12 p.m., I've worked for about 6 hours. So this is a pretty solid day that I put in already up until 12 p.m. And then from about 12 to 1:30, 12 to 2 sometimes, I'll go to the gym. So I go to the gym every day at lunchtime. So I don't like to go to the gym first thing in the morning, and I've got 5 kids, so I'm super busy in the evening. I coach my son's football team. I take my son to wrestling practice, try to hang out with the family as much as I possibly can. So I don't go to the gym in the evening. I try not to work too much in the evening. So I go to the gym during my lunch break. And then I come home, I eat lunch real quick. And then from 2 to 5, I just catch up on whatever else needs to be done. 2 to 5 is really just a continuation of what happened from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I just catch up on whatever else needs to be done from 2 to 5. But I get the majority of my work done from 5:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. So that's what my day looks like. I really don't work past 5 p.m. I really don't work past 5 p.m. I work a lot. 5:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. is my sacred sweet spot because I'm fresh. I just woke up. I get on my coffee. I'm fresh on my caffeine, very limited distractions, and my brain is in a really good space first thing in the morning. So I don't stay up late. I don't work past 5 p.m. That is my daily routine. All right. Let's see. Peace for all. What else did you say? How do you use Squarespace? So I just use Squarespace to host my website. I just use Squarespace to host my website. Yeah, but hopefully that answers your questions about where are you posting your daily updates. And I just use Squarespace to host my website. And I have a digital store on my website that's hosted through Squarespace. So I don't use Squarespace for email marketing. I actually don't really do any email marketing. If I send out any emails, they're all pretty much just automated. Okay, so we've got 7 minutes left. So let me just go through the questions. Let me go through the questions real quick. Alec, for new clients unfamiliar with QuickBooks Online, what's your recommended setup process for signing up, linking their bank accounts, and handling receipt uploads efficiently? So as a QuickBooks Online accountant, you can add new clients. You can create QuickBooks accounts for your clients. That's what I do. So if they don't have a QuickBooks account, no problem. You just need to know the name of their business and their email address, and then you can add them as a client. You can add a new client. And what I do with this is once I add them, I will send them an email and I will say, hey, I just signed you up for QuickBooks. You should get an email directly from QuickBooks very soon. It's very important that you follow the instructions in the email because you need to create your own account. And then once you've created your account, go to the gear icon, click on billing and subscriptions, and update your billing information so that your QuickBooks account can remain active. Once you've done that, then you need to connect your bank accounts and credit cards to the QuickBooks bank feed. And in the email, I will attach a link. I will attach instructions or a tutorial on how to connect your bank account and credit card account to the QuickBooks bank feed. So this is all just one email that I send out as soon as I add them as a new client. I send them out this big long email, and basically I tell them, just so you know, I can't do your bookkeeping until you've completed these steps. So that way they know, okay, I need to get this done. That way, in a month goes by, if they say, hey, why didn't you do my bookkeeping? I'll say, hey, have you connected your bank accounts and your credit cards to the QuickBooks bank feed yet? Oh, no, I haven't done that. Okay, well, I need you to do that before I can get started. And then, as always, I always finish all of my emails with, if you have any questions, if you need any help, let me know. Call me anytime and I'd be happy to help you, especially with connecting your bank accounts and credit cards to the bank feed. Michelle, let's see, Rundown 158. Good morning. Nice to see you. Michelle, what types of business insurance, if any, do you recommend for a bookkeeping business? For my bookkeeping business, I have errors and omissions insurance. I have no idea what it is. I don't know what it does. I've heard it helps. I've never had to use it. Hopefully you never have to use it. But yeah, I have errors and omissions insurance. Erica, good morning. Nice to see you. Alec, any tips on keeping things smooth when the client is new to bookkeeping and the CPA is handling taxes? Just communicate clearly, communicate effectively, ask as many questions as you can. And as you're doing things, just tell the client what you're doing. Let them know what you're doing. Let them know why you're doing it. I try to have a paper trail. I try to have email documentation for everything that I do. That way, if there's ever any questions in the future, you can always reference the emails. Alec, is there a process you have to make sure the CPA has everything they need without overwhelming the client? Yes, I always recommend let me invite you to the client's QuickBooks account. That's best case scenario for everybody. That way, I don't have to send you reports. I don't have to answer your questions. You can just access QuickBooks directly. So definitely recommend that the client invite the CPA or ask the client, hey, do you give me permission to invite your CPA directly into your QuickBooks account? That way they can get all the information they need. That's the best way to do it. That'll reduce a lot of the work that you have to do. Josh, good morning from Pittsburgh. I'm still trying to get my first clients. What should I be doing? What should I be doing every day to maximize my chances? Josh, I would say probably do what I'm doing right now to try to grow Zip Capital. So try to create as much content as you possibly can. Try to advertise and market as much as you can across as many social media channels as you possibly can. Right now, I'm posting multiple times per day on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram and YouTube. So just try to create as much content as you possibly can, and then try to reach out to as many people as you possibly can and be consistent. This is not, listen, I sent 4,000 LinkedIn messages over the summer, and I did not get a ton of new investors. I got a couple, but I did not get a ton of new investors. So you're going to do a lot of work right now, and it might not pay off, but you just have to stay consistent. I promise you, just be consistent. That's the best thing that you can do. So just create content as much as you can. Brittany, I enjoy your content so much and love that you speak on being a working dad. What is your daily schedule like with your kids? Like, how early do you work? Brittany, pretty sure I just answered all of those questions, but I appreciate your support. Thank you so much, Brittany. That's very kind. Aaron, thank you for the lives. Do you use the auto add feature to categorize? Yes, I do. So, but here's the very important tip. So I only use the bank text. I don't use the description. So in QuickBooks Online, in the bank feed, there's a rule feature. And with the rules, you can auto add transactions. But I am very specific in the bank text. That way, there's no questions, there's no mistakes. So for example, if it's an Amazon transaction, I will very clearly say the bank detail, the bank text needs to specifically say Amazon. And if it does, then auto add this transaction as an expense. Who did you pay? Amazon. What's the category? Job supplies. So I do use the auto add feature. How much time do you spend looking at the monthly reports for each client? I review the balance sheet. That's it. I make sure the balance sheet looks good, probably 5 minutes. I look at the P&L before I send it, make sure that everything looks good, make sure there's nothing unusual. So realistically, 5-10 minutes per month per client reviewing their reports before I send them. I always recommend to the client that they should be also reviewing their reports on a monthly basis. Very important. Very important that the client should be reviewing their monthly reports on a monthly basis. Erica, how do you manage your money? Are you on payroll? So I spend about $15,000 every month. So I just transfer $15,000 from my business account to my personal account, and then I pay all my personal bills with my personal bank account. So I spend about $15,000 per month. I am on payroll with ADP. So I'm an S corp. Harrisburg Bookkeeping is an S corporation. So I do need to be, as the owner, I do need to be put on payroll. So yeah, I'm on payroll with ADP, and they actually pay all my taxes. So I don't get any money. I just have 100% of my salary go towards my payroll taxes, because last year I paid like $200,000 in taxes. So I just have my entire salary just going straight to the IRS, and then I still have to pay additional taxes after that. But yeah, that's how I manage my money. So Erica, that's actually a good question. I think I might make a video in the future how I invest my money. Let me know if that would be interesting. As a bookkeeper, as a self-employed entrepreneur, I think I'm going to make a video on how I invest my money with like my IRA, my 401k, stock market, my savings accounts. So yeah, let me know if that'd be interesting. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, we've got time for one or two more questions. Let's see. Erica, speaking of the gym, I lost 6 pounds and I am excited. Can't wait to go back to the gym later today. Congratulations, Erica. I love that. I'm proud of you for that. Brett, I was offered to partner with a gentleman who offers loans to business owners. Any ideas on how I can structure a package that can benefit both sides? It would be a lot of cleanups, it sounds like. Yeah. So that's the cool thing about partnering with loan officers, because in order for them to give somebody a loan, their borrowers need to have updated and accurate financial reports. Hello, that's what we do. So I would just offer to him that if he has any borrowers or any clients who don't have bookkeeping, who don't have financial reports, that you can just take care of it for them. And then in the contrary, any of your clients who might need a business loan, just let them know that I'll refer any clients over to any of my current clients who need a business loan. I'll refer them over to you. It should be a very good relationship. But the one thing I will say is don't rely on any one person to get you all of your leads. It's just not going to happen. One person might get you a few, but chances are you're going to need to do your own marketing. You're going to need to do your own social media marketing. So I would never want to rely, even if somebody was a rock star at getting me leads and getting me clients, I wouldn't want to rely on them 100%, right? Because you never know. Like, I want to be in control of my own lead generation. I don't want to rely on somebody else, some other company, somebody else to get me leads. I just don't like that. So it's great. It's a great partnership, but don't rely on it 100%. Marianne McNutton, Zach, I followed your plan and just got my second customer. I lost a customer due to not being clear enough with my quote. I felt very good about my onboarding for this new customer. Thank you, Marianne. Congratulations. That's what it's all about. That's what I'm talking about. Proud of you. You just got your second client. That's awesome. Okay, so I don't have enough time. I'm only going live for 30 minutes. So 1 hour was too much. So I'm just going to go live for 30 minutes. So peace for all. I really appreciate your super chat, that $5. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to me. I really appreciate your support. And thank you everybody else for joining and asking so many great questions. I'm going to be going live again tomorrow at 10 a.m. So stay tuned. Join live if you want to ask questions. Check out all the links in the description of this video. You can register on my website for Zip Capital if you want to invest. I'm offering 8% up to 12% fixed returns. If you want to invest in Zip Capital, go ahead and register down below on my website. If not, check out all the other links in the description. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video.